I'm going to bring on my guests today, Katie Contrell, the CEO of Greener by Default, and Anna Bobat, who is the manager of global food and beverage for LinkedIn. Thank you both for being with me. Katie, I will let you do the honors because this is my favorite slide. Go have it.
Yes. So we were comparing October was baseline before we did any type of intervention. And then April was the full pilot when we had that flipped ratio of meat to veg. And when we compared the two, we found the amount of meat served per person was cut in half. So very dramatic result.
I mean, look at that. What we're seeing here for the folks who are listening on iTunes is the October baseline at LinkedIn before they slowly started switching over the ratio of 5 meat entrees to 5 vegetarian entrees, vegan entrees, a little bit of both, and keeping only 3 meat entrees. So still 3 out of 8. They switched people from 0.49 pounds of meat to 0.22 pounds of meat. So first of all, one thing to note, in the month of October, people were eating about half a pound of meat just at lunch, not their breakfast and their dinner at home. That to me is kind of a lot. But then we see that they've cut it in half by 2.22 pounds without really making that much of a difference in the menu. We all saw the menu and it still had like lots of meat options in it. So I think that's surprising. And then from the corporate, so that's the personal win. From the corporate win, and you see here, let me get to the corporate win first and then I'll come back. The corporate win, it looks like, Katie, am I reading this right? That LinkedIn took down their carbon footprint by 14,000 kilograms CO2?
Yes. So we calculated the difference in the amount of meat that would have been served without the pilot versus what was served during the pilot. And that difference in meat served is equal to 14,000 kilograms of carbon equivalent.
And is this a savings in 1 month or over a 3-month program?
1 month. Yeah, that's April. That's just for the month of April when we had the full implementation.
Okay, so in 1 month, LinkedIn San Francisco was able to pull down its carbon footprint by 14,000 kilograms of CO2, which equals about 35,000 miles of driving. I also like the idea that meat eaters have more choices. I think vegan or vegetarian or healthy options are thought about for the vegan, giving them an option, but I actually see it as the exact opposite. Many meat eaters are trying to, January, new year, new you, New Year's resolution, trying to be healthier, trying to move in the right direction. And I really see this as an option for just a plethora of options for them. I'm wondering, Anna, if you got any of those kind of feedbacks from the employees.
Yeah. And consumer trends in general nationally in the US are veering towards people like self-identifying as flexitarians. So it aligns really well with the way consumers and our employees, which are also consumers, are going. And from a culinary standpoint too, the creative freedom for the chefs never was an option on the table. A lot of them were pushed to look into more unique cuisines that they hadn't previously explored. So I know our chef in San Francisco, she was pulling out, African cookbooks and Middle Eastern cookbooks and Indian and Southern Indian, Northern Indian. And she was so excited to try to teach her team to create new dishes that they wouldn't normally have tried before. So from a culinary standpoint, it was adventurous. It was educational for the chefs and for the employees as well to be able to see these new cuisines being offered in their cafe space. So, from a variety standpoint, I think it actually pushed the teams to get more creative. And I thought that was a big win.